guys, Ryan with CrossFit Primal. I'm here with Ginnie Coleman, one of our awesome Primal Warriors. She has become famous for her Paleo Bread, and it's pretty awesome. There's people always asking you for a recipe, always asking you to make them some. I know Yoder's constantly bothering you to make him some bread. So obviously it's a huge hit, and this is going to be a great alternative for your loaf of bread that you may have at your Thanksgiving lunch or dinner coming up. And so we're excited for you to have us in your house. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Good. So what do we have here?
Okay. The recipe is really easy, simple ingredients. Almond flour, I use flax meal, eggs, apple cider vinegar, some raw honey, coconut oil, baking soda, and salt. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to put some almond flour in the food processor. And I like to pulse it a little bit just to make sure, because you should keep almond flour in the freezer to make sure that it does not, that it doesn't bunch and get into big pieces. So I just pulse it real quick to make sure it's nice and smooth. Like I said, this is really an easy recipe. You can completely use your food processor, and if you don't have one, a stand mixer or even a hand mixer is fine.
Okay.
So, and then I'm going to add some ground flax, and then I'm going to add the baking soda and salt. I'm going to go back and process that. Make sure it looks pretty good, that the flax is evenly distributed through the almond flour.
Sure. Okay,
the next step is to add the honey and the coconut oil, and then we're going to add eggs. And what I like to do, especially if you buy eggs the way you should, that are free range and fresh, I always check each egg and separate it so that there's nothing unexpected in
awesome.
there.
Good call.
So you're going to do eggs in there. And then I'm going to mix that a little bit. Just mix it a couple of times. And then I'm going to add some water. And I like to add the baking soda last, just so it reacts last with the vinegar. Make sure it looks like it's evenly mixed, and you're good to go. And the next thing we're going to do is put it in a coconut oil coated bread pan. And if you happen to have celiacs and you completely have to avoid flour, make sure it's one that you have separate from your other pans.
Okay, sure,
yeah.
Sure.
That's just an important thing to remember. Some people are so sensitive that they have to be careful.
Absolutely. And now, have you ever tried this with coconut flour, or is it because of how it rises and stuff?
You know, I have. I've experimented there's some great recipes out there online for paleo bread, and I've used coconut flour, but I really just like the taste of the pure almond flour. Sure. Sometimes the coconut flour can make it a little dry, and so I eliminated that and did some other things, and I think this one turns out just great.
Great.
And another way that I do it too, this one is more of a dense type of bread, so it'd be great to dry out and use as a stuffing, or French toast if you want to do a paleo French toast. Another way I do it, instead of mixing all the eggs, I separate them, add the egg yolks, and then I whip the egg whites stiff, and then fold it into the bread. So it makes it more of light and airy bread, which is perfect just to eat half of a loaf right out of the oven, coated with raw honey. So
that's a great idea.
So then we're going to just put it in the oven in bakes. Because this is a double recipe, it's usually going to take 45 minutes, but your oven, check it. I time it at 40, and then check it and just keep adding minutes, and it looks like we have a loaf done.
Okay, cool. So we see what it looks like.
So you want to make sure that you let the bread cool for about 5 minutes in the pan, and then take it out, and then let it cool for another 5 to 10 minutes. You can see the steam coming off. We're cutting a little early, but the bread's going to be nice and dense. Couple options. I love to put just some raw honey on the bread only as it comes right out of the oven, because it's nice and warm and soft, and you can try a piece of that.
Smells amazing.
Some other options are just some grass-fed butter, dairy butter, or coconut butter works really well too. Sometimes I've even let it dry out a little bit, and I like to cook it in the oven, kind of bruschetta style. Put some olive oil, slice it really thin, and then dip it in balsamic, and then I get my Italian experience without it being gluten.
Absolutely. So, this is phenomenal. Honestly, I don't know why you'd want to have regular wheat bread after this.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it's a hard switch for some people to go from whole grain to and almond flour. But this is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah,
this is great.
You know, it is one of the, I found that for me when I switched to paleo, I had done this actually before I started CrossFit, and you know, I'm a big sugar freak, which that I still have troubles with, but bread, I missed bread a lot, and so I did this, and at first I ate it a lot. You know, I did eat it quite a bit because I felt like I needed that bread craving.
Sure.
I couldn't curb, but now as I've been doing this for quite a while, and the time is worn on, especially with the Primal Challenge we've been doing, I've noticed I don't crave it as much.
Sure.
And so I'm eating a more healthy.
So thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for
we
coming.
appreciate it. And again, the recipe is going to follow after this video, and you guys can give it a shot. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you can go and bug Ginny at the gym for it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.